Pambansang Awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiging sa sinagalan, alam ng puso, sa higit ko'y kumain. Lupang hinihang, ulit ka ng pag-ibig, sa manlulubin. Ipagpasisigil, sa nagtataputong sa sipin at sa langit ko pamaw. Ay hinatang tulakaw, sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang lang magawag ko'y ay nanaginigin. Ang ituloy na parang niya kailan, ang kanyang natitigil. Lumalang araw niya, waragin magsinta, uwi natin sa libo. Ang higaya na kanya'y maghabi, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. We are doing now. Isa ang mga mundo, narinig ay maruto. Mayroon tayong lasa hamon ng bata, hiyamos ang pagkain na umahala. Inangako sa puso ang paniniwala, ang ginhawa para sa mga at sa buhay na buhay, mula na bawis suot buhay, napayapaan, katarungan, ay ang pinanglakamtan. Ay tuloy, at pala'y magsamuro. Magsamuro, lagi kang mamahalin, walang pipigil sa damdamin, mga pangako'y tutuparin. Habang buhay kami sa'yo'y magpapatay, mananagi sa puso't isipan. Ang lahat kong buting ay nanabuwis ng buhay, nasa pilingan may kapal. Ang sambahay na buhay, mula na bawis suot buhay, kapayapaan, katarungan, ay ating ang nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, at pala'y magsamuro.
Okay. Okay, tingnan natin ang time check natin. Pabuenas po sa Lunes. Okay, eksakto. Alas 7 po sa umagang ito mga kababayan, no? Okay, hanap buhay naman natin sa Lunes. Okay, dito po sa programa po Sa consolidated news natin dito po sa umagang itong araw ng Lunes, ano po ang petsa ngayon, no? 22 ng Enero 2024. Okay, araw nga ng Lunes mga suki mga kababayan, no? Okay. So babati muna ako. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Okay. At saka binabati po ng universal greeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Sa lahat po nakikinig, lalo po sa ibang bansa mga suki mga kababayan, no? Ayan. Okay. Okay, dito tayo sa programa Halo-Halo Special Opinion Balita Tiba po. Karamay po serbisyo publiko tinig ng mamamayan. At saka itong sumbungan ng mamamayan ang ating impilan mo. Sandali lang. Okay, patugtog ko ito. Ayan. Okay, umpisa tayo sa ating parinig po ito mga kababayan. Ang situation po ng Palestinian po dyan sa Gaza Strip, sa West Bank, sa Rafah border. Okay, magkaroon po ng kagutuman mga suki mga kababayan, no? Sabi po ng report ito, pati po ang magkaroon po ng famine na. Okay, sa area yan mga suki mga kababayan, no? Okay. May dagdag naman pa tayo, mamaya basahin ko. Okay, magkaroon po ng famine okay sa area na yan. Okay, sa mahigpit. Okay, pag-control po ng itong Internal Defense Forces mga suki ng Israeli war cabinet mga suki, no? Pag-control nila okay sa area. May balita po. Okay, marami po nadali ang mga sundalo po kaya nag-init ang ulo. Okay, maraming nadali po itong maraming casualties. There are casualties. Okay, from the Israeli Defense Forces, no? Okay. Ay pinapakita po ng mga independent tagapagbalita. Okay, marami po casualty di umano. Okay, ng mga kasundaluhan po ng Internal Defense Forces ng Israeli government, no? Okay, basahin ko itong saka ko magparinig ng news na yon. Basahin ko po breaking news madaling araw ito. Okay, 178 more Palestinian killed in the last 24 hours, raising the death tolls okay in Israeli aggression on Gaza Strip umabot na po reach 25,105 killed sa operation po ng military po ng ng Israeli internal force mo IDF Defense Force Israeli Defense Force mga suki mga kababayan. Ulitin ko 25,105 ang casualty po umabot po ng 62,681, no? Ulitin ko ang sugatan na kasalukuyan po magpagaling 62,685, no? Okay. Ang injured ayon po sa mga independent na source natin since October 7 Gaza Health Ministries, mga kababayan, no? Health Ministries ang mag-release ng report ito, no? Okay, pinarating po sa mga independent news. Okay, dyan po sa Middle East, mga kababayan, no? So, ulitin ko. Breaking news, 178 more Palestinian killed in the last 24 hours, raising death toll in Israeli aggression on Gaza Strip to 25,105, with 622,000, with 62,000, okay, hindi 60,000, no? 62,681 injured since October 7. Gaza Health Ministry ang mag-release ng report ito. Okay? Madaling araw po kagabi, ayan po mga suki, sa patuloy po, okay, pagpuksa ng mga civilian po, innocent civilian, mga bata, okay, dyan po sa Banda West Bank ito, no? Banda West Bank po, mga kababayan. So, walang po puknat, walang tigil, okay, pagpuksa po ng, okay, pasabog, okay, ng Internal Defense Force po ng Israeli Defense Forces po ng bansang Israel, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Okay, so ayan po ang latest po balita. Kailan kaya ako titigil, okay, sa pagbilang po ng patay, okay, diyan po sa Palestine, mga kababayan, no? Ayan. Ayan. Okay, sabi ko kagabi sa dasal ko ng tahajjud, okay, mga kababayan, kailan kaya mabuhi uli, okay, si Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, no? Kung sa panahon niya ito, hindi po mangyayari ito dito sa mga Palestinian, mga kababayan, no? Kung nabuhay pa, okay, si Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, no? Sa kanyang pamumuno, okay, pinamunuan nila ang Islam sa loob po ng 800 years, mga kababayan, no? Okay, kailan? Can you imagine itong mga Jordan government, okay, Egypt government, okay, Turkey government, okay, tulog lang, mga suki, nakapikit lang. Okay, pinabayaan ang mga kapwa natin po diyan po sa, okay, sa border nila, diyan po sa inside Palestine, mga kababayan, no? Tulog lang. Okay, nila President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, okay, nila King Abdullah ng Jordan, itong si Raisi, okay, ng Egypt po, mga kababayan, no? Sisi pala. Hindi si Raisi, Iran po ang si Raisi, mga kababayan, no? Al-Sisi po, mga kababayan. Okay, President Sisi ng Israel, tulog lang. They are all sleeping. Okay, they have nothing to do with the casualty, with the death toll of Palestinian brother, mga suki, no? Kaya nasabi ko sa dasal ko kagabi, kung okay, kung nabuhay lang si Propeta Muhammad, peace be upon him, wala po, hindi po mangyari, okay, ng katayan, okay, patayan po diyan po sa Gaza Strip, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Kung sa panahon niya, wala eh. Okay, the leader of the Muslim leader surrounding Palestinian, they are all sleeping. They are all sleeping, mga kababayan, no? President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is still sleeping. And then President El-Sisi of Egypt is sleeping. They are all sleeping. And then President King of Jordan, he is also sleeping, no? Okay, walang pakialam po, mga suki, sa nangyari sa mga kapatid nila. Okay, diyan po sa Palestine, mga kababayan, no? Ayan. So, yon, puro tulog. Ayan, sleeping. Okay, nakatulog lang sa kanilang magandang palasyo, mga suki, no? Okay? Wala lang mga pressure ay sa itong sa Israeli government, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Kaya nasabi ko sa dasal ko kagabi, kung nabuhay si Propeta Muhammad, peace be upon him, ay hindi po mangyari sa kanila. Okay, kinakatay lang sila ng ganyan po, mga kababayan, no? Pinapatay lang ng ganyan. Hindi po mangyari. Okay, so wala po sa panahon ni Propeta Muhammad, peace be upon him, no? Okay. So, yan po ang okay, kasalukuyan po nangyari sa bansa na yan, no? Okay. Anong katakutan mo mamatay? Natakot ka mamatay sa mga Israeli? Hindi ka dapat matakot mamatay. Eh, okay, kung mamatay ka, okay na. Okay. Ilibing ka lang. Bakit ka matakot mamatay? Ayan po, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Okay. Mainit talagang ulo ko. Okay, sa nangyari po dyan po sa mga kapatid natin. Okay, sa Palestine, mga kababayan, mga suki, no? Okay. At saka itong mga Hamas, kulang. Okay, sa kanilang plano po, mga kababayan, paglaban. Okay, dyan po sa government ng Israel, no? Hindi katulad dito campaign sa Mindanao. Okay, kompleto po. Okay, may mga doktor, mag-volunteer. Okay, pag may mga casualty, tinamaan po sa gera, okay, patay. Okay, living kaagad. Wala kang makikita po, okay, sa mga hanay ng mga lumaban po ng mga kapatid natin, okay, dito sa Mindanao, mga suki, no? Okay, nila Haji Murad yan. Okay, nila Muhagir Iqbar, nila sino ba yan? Okay, si Al Mansur. Okay, at saka iba pa. At saka yung namayapang si Ustad Hasim Salamat. Wala kang hindi po na nakita mo na mga ganun na okay, pinapakita po sa mga kay social media. Okay, ganun po ang karaming patay, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Okay, hindi ganun po pang kompleto sila nung mga panahon pa nila sa revolusyon, mga kababayan, no? Ayan. Hindi ganun po pagkuan, no? Parang mga kuan lang ito. Yung mga Palestino parang mga manok lang. Okay, kinakatay lang, mga suki, walang humpay pagpatay sa kanila. Kinakatay lang. Okay, walang depensa, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Okay. Ibig sabihin, duwag sila. Itong mga Palestino, mga kababayan, no? Duwag. Ayan. Sige. Okay, pakinggan natin po, report po ito para kaalaman ng lahat, no? Okay, lahat nakikinig sa akin. Ito, sa programa natin, no? Ayan.
More than 100 days into the war on Gaza, the Israeli media space is reeling over the implications of the court case in The Hague and the role journalists have played in a war of vengeance. A broadcast network in Australia has been accused of caving in to the pro-Israel lobby and firing one of its journalists. Plus, Finland tries to fortify future generations against misinformation, fake news.
Okay, yan po ka-power po ng itong mga Zionism, mga kababayan, no? Lahat control, lahat po, mga suki, mga kababayan. Okay, pati media, okay, kaya nila busalan po, okay, na hindi magsalita, mga kababayan, no? Okay, dito po ka-power ng grupo po ng Zionism, mga kababayan, no? Okay. Ayan. So, kung takot kayo, okay, wag na kayo po magbabalita, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Hindi na. Wag na kayo papasok sa trabaho ito kung takot kayo. Ayan. Okay, kung hindi kayo handang mamatay. Ayan po, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Ayan.
Since South Africa brought its genocide case against Israel to the International Court of Justice last week, the reaction from the Israeli news media has been incredulous. Some pundits have been mocking the case. Others have criticized Israeli officials, not for the mass slaughter in Gaza, but for their candor, including some blood-curdling statements that South Africa has offered as proof of genocidal intent. The Israeli government is taking the prospect of losing this case seriously. Prime Minister Netanyahu says he will not allow an ICJ ruling or anything else to stop the bombing of Gaza. Since October 7th, more than 24,000 Palestinians have been killed, and according to Gaza's health ministry, at least 10,000 children. Hundreds of thousands more are now going hungry, staring a famine in the face. Should the ICJ's ruling go against Israel, the implications will extend well beyond the Middle East, all the way to the U.S., where Israel's lead sponsor will be expected to honor its obligations under the Genocide Convention. Israel's war on Gaza is more than 100 days old, and 2 days after the court hearings in The Hague, Benjamin Netanyahu was at his most defiant.
אף אחד לא יעצור אותה. לא האג, לא ציר הרשע, ולא אף אחד אחר.
Read between the lines there, and that doesn't sound like a prime minister who thinks the International Court of Justice's ruling is going to go Israel's way.
His statement following the hearing was for the Israeli audience to say that the war is not over, and especially because of right-wing pressure from the extremists in Netanyahu government that are unsatisfied that they're moving to maybe the final stage of the war.
It was also aimed in significant part at the Palestinians. If you think that anyone has the power to stop us raining down high explosives on the Gaza Strip, think again, because we issue the orders and no one will be able to assist you, and very much to the international community. Don't think of stopping us.
Netanyahu said the opposite 2 days before. He said that Israel does not have any intention to stay forever in Gaza.
Israel has no intention of permanently occupying Gaza or displacing its civilian population.
So it was a combination of being mixed up, embarrassed, and not knowing exactly what to do. The political system and the media, they were all shocked from this whole procedure because it came so rapidly out of the blue sky. Israel is used to long processes which never even start, or to say never end. And here, all of a sudden, Israel faced a situation which she never faced before.
Much of the information war Israel's been fighting since October 7th has been based in its news studios. Journalists in those studios then covered the ICJ hearings live, in this case alongside the Deputy Speaker of the Knesset, whose name came up at the hearings as evidence of Israeli officials speaking with genocidal intent.
During the ICJ hearing on Channel 13, one of the guests was Parliament member Nissim Vaturi, who said that all Gaza should be burned down, and this statement was quoted in the ICJ, and the host asked him about the damage it caused. And he started to talk about what happened on October 7th, kind of preaching to them about the horrific attacks against Israel. And the host told him that we already reported that, we're asking you something else. And when he continued, they asked him to leave.
That kind of pushback is highly unusual. Israelis haven't seen much of it on their news channels. In fact, some of the genocidal statements raised at the ICJ were originally delivered from those news studios. Not just by politicians or commentators. Some of it came straight from the anchor chair.
אני לא נרדם טוב בלי שאני רואה בתים קורסים בעזה. מה אני אעשה? עוד
עוד בתים, עוד מגדלים, שלא יהיה להם לאן לחזור. Journalists have been among the prominent Israelis driving the propaganda. They are in no position now to point the finger in a blame game.
From the Israeli media, there are basically two themes. The first theme is outrage, along the lines of how dare they? We're the ones who are the victims of genocide here. Not only during the 1940s, but also on October 7th. So how dare they accuse us of genocide? We're only defending ourselves. And the second one.
Okay, ibig sabihin po, ginamit po ang power ng media, no? Okay, dito po sa labanan nito mga kababayan. Ginamit po ng mga Israeli media, okay, ang pagkampi po sa kanilang bansa mga suki, no? Okay, kaya nga talagang dehado po itong Palestino mga kababayan, no? Okay, paglaban nila okay sa gera ito. Ayan.
Is basically a standing ovation for what is presented as the phenomenal job Israel's legal team did in rebutting South Africa.
זה היה היום שבו ישראל השיבה מלחמה, שיקמה את כבודה, הטילה אלומת אור על השקרים וההוצאה מהקשר של הצוות הדרום אפריקאי, ובית הדין סוף סוף קיבל את הסיפור. Okay, tinawanan lang po ng mga abogado po ng Israeli, mga lawyer po ng Israeli itong kaso nila po sa genocide mga kababayan, no? Okay. Paano hindi tawanan? Okay, kapower po nila. Okay, sa paglaban po mga sa kaso ito mga kababayan, no? Okay, tinawanan lang mga South African lawyer. Okay? Ay sa pagfile ng kaso ito mga kababayan. Okay. Sige.
How did we get to this? We're after 3 months of war in Gaza, in which the Israeli media, almost all of them, totally betrayed its professional mission. You don't see the people of Gaza. You don't see the...
Okay, lahat po ng media ng Israel, no? Lahat ng media ng Israel, okay, magdepensa po sa leader nila po si Benjamin Netanyahu mga kababayan, no? Ayan, mga suki. Okay, ayan.
You don't see the dying children on floors of hospitals, the bombarding. You just see vague images. So Israelis came to this session of the court with a feeling that everything went right in the war.
Outside of Israel, media watchers criticized the UK's most watched news channels, BBC and Sky, for failing to provide live coverage of the first day of the hearings, when South Africa made its case, only to carry parts of Israel's defense the following day. Some British interviewers have...
So answer natin yun, no? Sino mayari ng BBC? Sino mayari ng Sky? Grupo nila. Ayan po mga suki, no? Mayari ng Sky, mayari ng...
About images, how photos are edited. In history class, we discussed an air raid that took place during the Second World War and thought about how the same incident could be taught differently.
Ako 28 years na ako rito, mag-29 years na ako rito po sa trabaho ito mga kababayan, no? Kaya nga alam natin po pasikot-sikot ng trabaho po sa news. Okay, delikado po ang news media po mga kababayan, no? Napakadelikado. Pag yan ang makalaban mo, wala, tepokin mo na. Okay, tegokin mo na lang para wala na. Ayan po mga suki, no? Napaka-dangerous po ang media. Kalaban mo. Ayan.
Depending which side the country has fought on. It's very important that we don't just teach the subject matter, but also the analytical skills. Who produced it and for what purpose?
Spotting fake news is a very real part of daily education here in Finland. Sometimes it's subtly woven into everyday subjects. Sometimes it's more specific. We're about to sit in on a class where 14-year-olds are learning all about myths, and malinformation, questioning and challenging claims like the moon is made of cheese.
Aina yksi kerralla muutama. Aloitetaanko vaikka tästä?
Tässä on väliä. Ja sitten siinä oli tosi paljon kiire.
Okay, ang oras natin, anong oras na? Okay, 41 minutos pasado alas 7, sanay mag-break lang tayo, no? Okay.
Female voice, male voice, lolly voice, monster voice.
Okay, pagpatuloy natin, no? Kunti na lang.
Ja asia-ikäisiä siinä oli tosi paljon sellaisia outoja sukunimiä, sellaisia vääriä paikkoja.
Me naurettiin tosi paljon näille nimille. Tää oli tutkija mozzarella, parmesan, professori camembert, brie.
Oppilaat tunnistetaan hienosti. Esimerkiksi the students are very good at recognizing fake news. For example, when news about the war in Ukraine started appearing online, Finns in general have a very high standard of media literacy. We're not easily fooled.
That's in part because media literacy is not a new concept for Finns. It's been part of the culture for more than a century, ever since the Nordic nation first gained independence from Russia in 1917. Almost 100 years on, having walled itself off from years of Soviet propaganda, the fight against fake news is still being fought, first in the aftermath of Russia's 2014 annexation of Crimea, and more recently with Putin's invasion of Ukraine, in particular, concerns about narratives challenging Finland's ambition to join NATO. And media literacy is now mandatory, a core component of the national curriculum, teaching Finnish students to form a front line of defense against any disinformation, including content infiltrating the 830-mile-long border the two countries still share. During the period of Finlandization in the Cold War, the Finnish media were very cautious about their neighbor, the Soviet Union. People always had to ask themselves whether the news was really true. Of course, there have been changes since. Russia has taken on an increasingly aggressive global role. We're also spending an increasingly significant part of our lives on social media. So teaching media literacy and criticism in schools is so important.
We were one of the first countries in EU, probably in the world, to actually have a specific policy for media literacy. There's no one single right way to promote media literacy. There are multiple ways, and different organizations can do the work from their own viewpoints. That way, we feel that we can reach much more people than we would be able to do if it was all done only by us, a governmental office producing only materials by the government and telling like the official story.
There's no escaping the multifaceted media education effort underway. So many different organizations are developing and delivering learning programs, from schools, universities, and libraries to government departments and NGOs. And one of the biggest players is the public broadcaster Wiley.
Yle Uutisluokka on osa Ylen mediakasvatustyötä. Haluamme parantaa nuorten medialukutaitoa.
Mari Bessanumi is one of Wiley's media producers. She works on a number of the news network's teaching tools, including a project called News Class.
We have 14 different news mentors working from around Finland. They go and meet the class, they tell them who they are, and then they go through like how news come about, like what you see on the TV, how does that happen? And once you go through the whole process, they actually start thinking about these publication methods, and that is really the way fake news can be detected. So then, of course, Yle does a lot of other things. We have Wiley Learning, which does different types of video on media education, like the lie detector.
Feikkikuvina, meemeinä, editoituina videoina.
Okay, sandali lang. Break muna natin. Okay, sandali lang na.
Female voice, male voice, lolly voice, monster voice.
Okay, pagpatuloy natin, kunti na lang. Okay, mga suki-suki natin, no?
Twiitteinä, Instagram-storeina, deepfake-videoina ja äänihuijauksena.
The deepfake videos we produced have been really popular, and the reason why we put them out was that artificial intelligence is coming at a speed where we need to kind of let people know that it exists and how it works. We also offer different types of games that you can immerse yourself into and think of what it would be like to be, for instance, a troll.
Trolls, foxes, dogs. There's a whole menagerie of characters being deployed by game designers and developers to draw kids in. It's the more entertaining side of the educational toolkit, but that doesn't mean it's all just fun and games.
Troll factory is where you put yourself in the position of a troll and deliberately create as much harmful material as possible for online distribution. It's quite an unpleasant game, but students experience the harm of spreading misinformation, which is perhaps a good thing for them.
Meidän tehtävänä oli olla vähän niin kuin viikko internet-trolleina, ja meidän piti periaatteessa saada mahdollisimman paljon seuraajia ja näkyvyyttä meidän tilille sillä, että me levitettiin disinformaatiota.
Sai paljon seuraajia siitä, ja levitti paljon epämiellyttäviä asioita.
Wiley News Lab produced Troll Factory when Russian trolls were really on the news here in Finland. It really makes you think, like, I do not want to be the lord of lies, which is the end result. When you think of kids who are gamers, if for some reason we manage to incorporate one media education game into the set of gaming, it's only a bonus.
Playing to students' strengths, the media literacy program is a point of pride. One of the many international indexes where this small Nordic nation consistently comes out on top. Having spent the last century schooling its citizens to fend off fake news, Finland is shifting its focus, guarding against new trends, technologies and platforms to ensure that every pupil is prepared to fight false information, whatever form it might take.
In closing, more than 100 days into the war on Gaza, with nearly 120 journalists killed, we are reminded of the devastating cost to our colleagues on the ground.
Okay, 120 na po journalists namatay po dyan po sa pag-cover. Okay, dyan po sa Gaza City, mga kababayan, no? 120 journalists. Okay, na tekok namatay po dyan sa pag-cover po ng gera na yan. Isulat natin, no? Okay, isulat natin record. Okay, ng mga 120 journalists po namatay dyan. So wala pong pili po itong si Benjamin Netanyahu, no? Ayan. Ayan. i-record po natin, no? 120 journalists, okay, namatay po sa pag-cover na yun, no? Killed. Can you imagine? Wala pag-isip. Okay, tira. Okay, sa kasaysayan po ng daigdig, yan po ang record po ng mga journalist na namatay po diyan sa kalokohan po ni Benjamin Netanyahu, no? Ayan.
Has been described as a mountain of journalism. Based in Gaza for Al Jazeera Arabic, he has kept on reporting even after he lost his wife, son, daughter, and a grandson to an Israeli strike in October. Even after he helped lay to rest his colleague, cameraman Samar Abu Daqqa, after an Israeli attack in December that also left Dafdu wounded. And even after the killing of his eldest son and fellow journalist Hamza in the early days of 2024. Wael Dafdu has now left Gaza to get the medical attention his wounds require, but he says he'll be back. We just wanted to close by acknowledging the many journalists still on the ground, still bringing you the news on this story under the most dangerous circumstances imaginable. We'll see you next time here at the Listening Post.
Okay. So yan po ang katapusan ng balita. At least ulitin ko po mga kababayan, ilan bang namatay na? Okay, additional dito ko kahapon. Okay, 25,105 ang Palestino po namatay diyan po. Okay? Sa bakbakan niya, no? And then 62,681 ang injured po since October 7 Gaza Health Ministry. No, ang source, Gaza Health Ministry. Ayan. Okay, mag-break muna ako and then wala nang oras, no? Okay, may oras pa ba? Wala na rin. Ayan. Mag-break muna and then kung meron pa balita, magbalita tayo, no? Okay. Okay, may tinag sa akin si Pamilyang Akbar, no? Okay, si Joy Akbar sa aking messenger. Okay, magtakbo siya daw ng congressman, no? Magpaalam siya. Okay, magtakbo raw siya ng congressman sa Basilan. Okay, okay, Lone District naman ng Basilan, no? Sabi ko, sige, yung mga politik na yan, wala po kasi guraduan, no? Okay, paswerte-swerte lang. Ayan. Si Joy Akbar, no? Okay, may balak po magtakbo ng congressman. Sabi ko, sige. Okay, kung yan ang gusto mo, okay, takbo ka. Kasi itong mga politik ay paswerte-swerte mga kababayan, no? Ayan. So, sinabi ko na, Joy Akbar, okay, ang iyong tinatagbo sa akin ay ikaw magtakbo ng congressman sa darating na election 2025, no? Okay, sinabi ko na. Kasi amanat yun, no? Okay, amanat, pinapadala sa akin, dapat sabihin ko po bilang tagapamahayag, okay, sabihin ko sa publiko mga kababayan, no? Aywan ko itong si Ahmad Salaw, may balak din nata tumakbo. Okay, Ahmad Salaw, mag-governor din nata, no? Ayan. So sige. Ayan, may karapatan. Demokrasya po ang basilan, no? Okay, si Ahmad Salao. Tingnan natin. Hindi mo maalam ang swerte ng tao. Ayan. Ahmad Salao, Joy Akbar. Okay, may balak po papasok sa politika sa 2025, no? Ayan. Sige. Okay, ako hindi po mga kababayan, no? Okay, mag-atras ako. Okay, dahil po ang aking kalusugan, mga kababayan, no? Hindi ko na rin kaya magkampanya. Baka hindi ko na kaya magkampanya, mga suki, no? Kaya nga, inatras na lang. Kaysa naman ay mapahiya ako pagdating sa 2025, mabuti pa hanggat maaga ay mag-atras na lang, no? Okay, baka hindi ko rin kaya mag-ikot ng basilan, no? Okay, maglakad ay parang pasuroy-suroy na lang po, mga kababayan. Okay, ang lakad natin, hindi na ako makakover sa labas eh. Okay, gusto ko mag-cover sa labas. Okay, hindi na po, mga kababayan, no? Kaya, okay, pinokus na lang natin dito po sa studio. Okay, ang news natin, no? Okay, makuha naman mga balita po, mga kababayan. Okay, kung marunong ka magkuha ng balita, okay, kahit dito po sa studio, mga suki, no? Okay, so yan. Joy Akbar, tutakbo ng congressman sa Basilan. Okay, si Ahmad Salao, baka mag-governor. Hindi natin po alam, mga suki, mga kababayan. Ayan. Sige lang. Malay mo okay, maka-upset. So, sige. Okay. Okay, si Ahmad Salao, may negosyo ata ukay-ukay, no? Okay, baka malakas ang ukay-ukay niya. Hindi natin alam, no? Si Joy, may negosyo rin. Negosante rin yan eh. Ayan, Joy Akbar. Baka makaipon ng mga $500 million o mga 300 million. Sige na. Ayan. Okay. Kasi pera-pera yan, mga susi. Salam, may negosyo ata. Okay. Yang ukay-ukay, mga suki na. Ayan. Sige. Okay, wala na akong oras. Tapos na. Tapos na rin ako nagalit. Okay, sa umagang ito, mga kababayan, na. Ayan. Sino pang gusto magpolitik sa Basilan? Magbigay kayo ng clue. Ibalita natin dito, no? Okay, sa news natin. Kasi kung amanat, talagang sinasabi natin, no? Ayan.
Female voice, male voice, lolly voice.
Awesome!
Hindi.
Awesome! Awesome! Awesome!
Okay, magmula programa po ng Consolidated News. Okay, dito lang po sa impilan ng ADLSNTV Corporation. Okay, programa po Halo-Halo Special, opinion, balita at iba pa. Okay, kasama po serbisyo publiko tinig ng mamamayan. And then, ay sumbungan ng mamamayan, no? Okay, yung mga balita natin sumbong po sa atin. At least pinaparating sa publiko. Okay, para alam po ng publiko ang mga mahalagang balita po mga kabayan, no? Okay. So, yan ang intention natin, purpose natin. Okay, wala tayong purpose po na para tayo ay magkagulo, no? Okay, para tayo masira. Ang purpose lang natin po ay maghatid ng balita ng tama. Okay, sa mga kasalukuyan po nangyari. Okay, sa daigdig, okay, sa local, okay, sa regional, at saka itong national, no? Okay, happy 5th anniversary po ng Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Na ikalimang anibersaryo na, founding anniversary. Okay, anniversary kahapon. Nagumpisa po ang Bangsamoro government, no? Okay, sa mga Bangsamoro, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So, ikalimang anibersaryo na po sila. Okay. Okay, tuloy-tuloy ang pag-anniversary po ng Bangsamoro government, no? Okay. Okay, at least anniversary. Okay, okay lang. Ayan pa mga suki. Okay, pati ano kayo na-deliver nila, no? Okay, para sa mga Bangsamoro sa loob ng 5 taon, no? Okay. So, yan po ang Bangsamoro government, no? Ayan. So, wala na tayong balita. Okay, paalam tayo sa umagang ito. Wala tayong masamang tinapay sa kapwa. Okay. Sa umagang ito, pabuenas po ng umaga ito mga kababayan, no? Okay. Ayan. Ang mga balita ito ay pinoproduce, okay, pinapunduhan po ng Mind the Global Food Lines para lang meron tayo balita, no? Okay, ito po mag-produce, okay, mga magsipi, okay, magsulat, okay, dito po sa news natin araw-araw, no? Okay. So, paalam ako, babalik ako mayang hapon, okay, wala tayong masamang tinapay, inulit ko. This has been Abs naman lamang po, no? Okay. Nakita ko sa letrato kahapon ba, no? Kagabi ba kahapon? Okay, itong mga pundasyon ng politika dito sa Zamboanga, no? Okay, magkasama po ang si former mayor, former congressman, Sergio Lorenzo Lobregat. Okay, at saka itong si Beng Climaco Salazar mga suki, no? Ano, magtandem naman sa 2025 ba yan? Okay, mga suki, no? Okay, nakita ko mag-post sila sa kanilang sa page ni Beng Climaco, no? Okay, so kalaban niya na okay ng kasalukuyan po Mayor John M. Dalipin, no? Okay, at saka si Tintin Pareha. Okay, si Tintin pa, si Josephine Pareha mga suki, no? Okay. So, malapit na 2025, no? Okay, magpakitang gilas na. Okay, mga politiko, no? Ano kaya takbuhin po ni Sergio Lobregat, no? At saka si Beng Climaco. Malalaman natin yan, okay, pagdating ng panahon mag-file na po ng certificate of candidacy, no? Okay. Okay, so labanan po dito sa Zamboanga, no? Okay, second district, first district, ang congressman namin, okay, si Kimer Adan Olaso mga suki, na? Okay, ayan. So, may kalaban. Okay, may kalaban po ang incumbent mayor, no? Ayan. Ang problema ko, ang project ay marami po dyan sa District 2, no? Okay, kay Manix Dalipe. Dito sa district namin, Okay, put na po ang bunganga ko magsabi, no? Na-pause na ko. Yung daanan papunta rito sa amin sa subdivision, yan dyan sa Renated Drive. Okay, panawakan natin kay Pilarica Ledesma, no? Pakiayos naman, kahit lang kompone-kompone lang. Yung sementohan lang ng patching-patching ba? Okay, patching-patching lang. Hindi naman tag-tag yung mga bata papasok sa eskwelahan, no? Okay, punit ng bunganga kung magsabi dyan, no? Okay, sa barangay, sa Kimer, kay Kimer Olaso. Okay, dapat kompone lang mga suki, no? Tag-tag na mga, magkabalik-balik na po mga likod ng mga apo namin mag-aaral, mga suki, mga kababayan, no? Ayan. So, good morning. Dapat ayusin po yan. Yang danan yan. Okay. So, babalik ako mamayang hapon. Tapos na ako magpaalam. Bye-bye na.
Station